is the single most cause of releasing cortisol hormone into our bloodstream. And it is this blood level increase in cortisol that increases all the inflammatory processes. And because of its increased inflammatory processes, you become vulnerable, to various kinds of diseases. Meditation to me is like vaccination. It prevents diseases from coming. What sort of diseases though? The modern day problem, loneliness, anxiety, depression, frustration. It's not that they were not there before. They were there then too, but they were easy to handle. These days it's very difficult. I have said again and again that meditation is the key. It masters. It helps us master our mind. Let me put it very briefly. When can you be happy? When you are restless and walking around with speed, with aggression. Can you be happy with such a restless state? So what is required? Peacefulness within. Happiness demands that you are at peace. If you are not at peace, happiness will elude us. So, in order to arrive at peace, you'll have to have a contemplative mind and harmony within. And how can you arrive at contemplative mind unless you have a focused mind? And how can you arrive at focused mind? By training the mind through meditation. Now you can join the dots. Fundamentally, meditation dissolves any sort of stress. And stress is the single most cause of releasing cortisol hormone into our bloodstream. And it is this blood level increase in cortisol that increases all the inflammatory processes. And because of its increased inflammatory processes, you become vulnerable, to various kinds of diseases, not just becoming vulnerable to viruses and bacteria, but it promotes also asthma. It also it opens many chances of having, for example, high blood pressure, heart attacks, and mentally, stress leads to anxiety, anxiety leads to loneliness, loneliness to depression, and the whole chain reaction. So to me, a mental health where you can be distressed and you can remain in a joyful, cheerful situation, then certain beneficiary neurotransmitters that mind enjoys, then your blood flow is better, your defense system, especially immunity, also improves quite a lot. And I'm not saying because I'm promoting spirituality, meditation, but it's scientifically proven as well that meditation does change our stress level and decreases cortisol and increases many beneficiary neurotransmitters. So yes, it does help. Well, if you see the background behind depression, anxiety, and the ultimate step of taking the matter in your own hands and call it quit and end your life with suicide. This is the culmination where you have lost all your hopes, where there are no hopes left anymore to hinge upon your future. That's when you commit. Now, what is it that keeps us going? Hope, aspirations, and when they are thriving in our hearts, you will work towards it. The moment you lose hope, you become anxious and you get into a trap of depression. So, to me, best would be to vaccinate your emotional and mental well-being in such a way that you don't succumb to anxiety and depression that can precipitate into final schizophrenia or suicide. Prevention to me is the best medicine. Once you get into a state of depression, which can escalate to a next level, and a person who has already decided that I'm going to commit suicide, it's very difficult to change their minds. Once a person gets into depression, it's also quite challenging. Best is to prevent it from happening. And I am an advocate, promoter of prevention of such mental states. To me, this can easily be achieved through meditations. So if you have that problem of getting easily into anxious mode, once again, yogic meditations can help us. But you don't have to go out shopping around who is better, because there is no end to it. Moment you say there is a price tag on meditation, run away from it, because they are there. They have started their yoga shops. Yoga has become udyoga. In Hindi, it rhymes very well. Yoga, udyog. Yoga can never become udyoga. Yoga can never become a business. Because yoga ultimately is all about your merging with the ultimate. We call Brahma Vidya. And you cannot put a price tag on such things. And Brahma Vidya is the only thing that can not only help improve our physical health, it can help our mental health and spiritual well-being. So our goal is much higher, not just getting out of depression, or not just getting out of anxiety, or not only preventing the suicidal tendencies, but go above all these things and tap into some higher dimensions. So I highly advocate everyone to meditate, and remember my caution: if there is a price tag over it, run away from such gurus. Emotional outbursts, sinking with emotion, loneliness. It's a common thing these days, I think. When you had good times, we misused those good times and created a lot of mess around us. Loneliness, when you are in the companion, let us see what it means when Babuji says, connect yourself. When he says constant remembrance, what it means to me is I'm always with him. I'm never lonely. Right? So, associating yourself with such a master of caliber can totally remove loneliness. You can be alone, but you are never lonely. You will be in the group. You'll be all alone by yourself, even in a group, but connected with such a higher personality who keeps guiding you all the time. See? When you're listening, when you're talking, when you're eating, you're sleeping, always keep him in your heart and mind, then you're never lonely. See? And I have nothing to do with the world in a way one would expect, somebody has to fulfill my desire. Why do you have outbursts? Because, first of all, it's personal weakness that I end up having outbursts. This is my weakness. Somebody names me and I get excited and feel like slapping the other person. That is my weakness. Let other person say whatever they want to say. But when I'm in control with myself, I think I rule. I'm not a servant at that moment. When you respond with emotional outbursts, you have become a slave. So take charge of yourself and say, okay. Babuji would say, it's like an elephant walking merrily, enjoying, that walk. Dogs, they go on barking. Imagine an elephant losing his emotions, getting into outbursts with a dog. No, why should I fight with a dog? See? You are much bigger than all this. In family also, when you are having a company of such a personality backing your life all the time, be confident, you see. You will succeed, and that confidence is there. You can always laugh at some things, So in one go, by associating yourself heartfully with the master of caliber, I think you will be able to resolve many issues in life. It's not just loneliness, not just this or that, but when you become grandma also and start having all kinds of problems from your grandchildren, you'll be able to steer them in the right direction. It's again because of this heart and mind combo, which is spiritually inclined. See? To become stronger, you need some sort of a stress. You need some sort of a challenge. When this stress and challenge is beyond the capacity of our tolerance, our bearings, it is at that moment that we become weaker. So the whole idea of yoga and mental wellness is to make our being, make our moral fabric so strong that we can resist all kinds of ups and downs in life. Simply put, if I may conclude it in one sentence, the cause behind mental illness is the polarization between mind and the heart. Heart says something, mind says something. When this polarization also extends between two members, for example, husband and wife, or boss and subordinates, it is this polarization that always creates friction and tension. So, what to do about all this? A greater understanding is required between a couple, between a boss and a subordinate, and between my mind and my heart. And how am I going to have right understanding unless and until I have right thinking process? I need to study the situation from all angles. Why did my boss get angry? Why did my wife or my husband got angry with me? Instead of retaliating, postpone your anger, postpone your reaction as much as you can, and reflect on it for a few minutes by pausing. Best time is at bedtime. So all our reactions should be, let's postpone till the night when we are able to go to sleep peacefully and reflect on it. Where did we go wrong? How did I misunderstand this situation? And next day, if you are wrong, be courageous enough to apologize. Only then we are going to have harmony. And it is the harmony that prevents further escalation of stress, anxiety, and depression. So I do strongly believe that it is this mismatch between the feelings of the heart and thoughts of the mind. That's one aspect. Second thing I wanted to share with you is about suicide. See, suicide rates are increasing in every state rather. Gujarat, I think, is quite high also. Little quarrels here and there at family level, some financial problem, some love-related problem, somebody shouted at another family member, expectations not going. But again, to put it simply, when your hope is challenged and you feel, oh, no more, even my hopes are crashing right in front of me, that's when people take the ultimate step. Hopelessness. Now, when a person has already become the hopeless, it is already too late to reverse this thought process. Similarly, once the escalation has happened and there is a stress between two individuals or multiple individuals, it is also too late to remedy the situation. I have seen many cases who come to meditate. Say, sir, I am very depressed. Can you help me? There are methods. But if they do meditation on their own alone, during the meditation, instead of thinking of that object of meditation, they cannot regulate their mind. Somehow their thought process gravitates towards the problem they already have. So it's too late actually. When you already have this anxious mind, depressed mind, schizophrenic mind, it's already too late. Of course, we should not be so discouraged that what am I going to do next? Of course, we can solve it, but it takes longer times. And also, we have to find out whether this depression, is it simply physical or emotional or physiological? There are vast differences. Suppose you enter home after a day's work. You are stressed, you are angry at something. God knows why you are angry or upset. The moment you enter the house, your temperament is different. Your wife, your spouse, your children can recognize Papa or Mommy, something is wrong with you. So, in order to get out of such a state, we do offer a special meditation. We call it Anta Suddhikara. We call it how we clean our inside. There is a very specific yogic method, and our trainers can happily train you to do this. Just sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. Just before you interact with other family members, soon as you reach home, just undergo this process for 10-15 minutes and see how fresh and lighter you become, as if you just got up from the sleep, despite of your stressful day.
Discover essential parenting insights from Daaji on raising successful children through love, discipline, and example setting. Click on this video now.